quick one off the bat. Who are some of your favorite guys to guard? Who makes you better?
I would say Malik Heath and Jonathan Mingo. Those two guys I like going against the most.
Is there a lot of trash talking out there between
Yeah,
y'all?
we're all competitors, and we've been going against each other for a while now, so it's a lot of fun out there. But yeah, it is definitely a lot of trash talk, but that just comes with the game.
Kind of assessing the scrimmage this past Saturday, what are some of the things that stood out to the secondary and, in your eyes, and what's kind of the biggest emphasis that you've kind of taken away from that, although you can't really judge all that much coming off of it?
We just got to keep eliminating big plays, on the outside. With what we do, we got to be locked down on the corner, safety room. Everybody has to be in tune with each other, and we just all got to make sure we're on the same page.
Speaking of locking down, you've been able to do a lot of that in the parts of camp that we've seen. Are you, I don't know if surprised is the right word, I'll go with that. Are you surprised that you've gotten as comfortable at corner as quickly as you have?
I wouldn't say surprised, just because of all the work that I put in the off season, and even while during spring, just in my spare time, because I know that it was a new position for me, so I got to catch up to what people have that have been playing the position. They've been playing it for a long time now, so this is maybe like my second year at the position, so just having to catch up, it wasn't really a surprise, but I feel like it's been paying off pretty well.
Kind of big picture, how close do you think this defense is to being where y'all want it to be?
It's always a work in progress. Nothing's perfect, but I feel like the bond that we built already outside of football is reflecting on what we're doing on the field, and it's creating the right atmosphere that we want to have for this season.
In that same regard, you have numbers in the secondary. How are you seeing the depth develop? I mean, how confident are y'all kind of how far down the chart, are y'all kind of building that depth?
Yeah, I think our depth is one thing that is a strong suit for us this year. We have a bunch of corners, a bunch of safeties that can play, linebackers, defensive line. We built a lot of depth this year, and because we did bring some people in from the transfer portal, like Tennyson and Troy Brown. So bringing guys in like that, and Asheem Young, that have experience, just being able to build that depth in all the rooms is essential.
How tough was that last year when you guys in the secondary were having to play 50, 60, 70 snaps a game sometimes?
Man, it does get tough, especially down the stretch in the season when, we get into those SEC games and we're banging a lot, and not having that depth kind of hurts you on the back end, but being able to have the depth now is going to be a great thing for us.
Now that you've had a spring and a few weeks of camp, do you notice a lot of schematic differences between what Durkin did and what Partridge is doing?
There are some differences. I'm not going to say everything, but yeah, there are some differences. There are some similarities, but I feel like Partridge put his own twist to everything. So,
if you go back a couple of seasons ago, and you guys really weren't getting a lot of rush on the passer, and it left you guys in the secondary on an island for quite some time. Yeah. Have you kind of noticed that difference this year, or is your D-line, your defensive front getting to the passer quicker?
Yeah, one thing one of our mottos here is coverage and rush, and we say one unit. So that means like with the covers that we have in the back end, we know that our D-line is going to get to the quarterback, and they've made that a big emphasis of this past spring and this fall camp and this coming up season. So with them rushing the passer and us covering the receivers and running backs and everything, I feel like it's going to be something great.
I'm curious, when you look at your career arc, do you sometimes wonder how good of a corner you could be if this were like year 4 or 5 for you at the position, or do you think all the movement maybe helped you develop as an overall player?
I think it has helped me as an overall player, but also I feel like maybe if I played maybe in high school even, played both ways or just played more of defense, it would be that much better. But I don't take anything for granted. I take my journey, I wouldn't change it for the world.
One of the guys a lot of people have talked about is Davison Ignosin. What have you kind of seen from him, and is it surprising to see a freshman kind of do the things that he's done?
Yeah, you don't really see many freshmen play like he has this fall camp and this past spring, and he's been up there with us in the ones and stuff. So just having him, I feel like he's going to be a great asset to our team as well.
I'm not sure. I don't know if you've answered this quite yet, but JJ was in the other day just talking about what's made the learning curve a little bit easier for him playing, on the defensive side of the ball, was just this familiarity, playing offense previously. With you, I mean, did that familiarity on the other side of the ball kind of help in your growth at the position?
Yeah, just being on offense for so long, you kind of pick up what offenses want to do and what receivers like to do with their stems and what kind of routes they'll be running, depending on where they are on the field. So just knowing that in the back of my head and knowing what kind of receivers like to do when they're in press or if the DB isn't off, just knowing all the little things that receivers key on, I think helps me a lot.
I don't know if there's a specific moment that stands out, but at what point in your career did you stop thinking of yourself as a temporary corner and kind of start thinking of yourself as a full-time corner?
It had to be the COVID year. I can't think of what game, but I know when I kind of felt like it was something that I could really do seriously was after that Auburn game, when I had to guard one of their best receivers and deflate the pass there. So I was like, maybe it's something I could do for real and stick with it.
Miles, how would you describe your game?
Long and rangy, there's not many places you could put the ball that I can't get to it with the receiver, even if it's over the shoulder, I'm already, 6'4", so the pass got to be almost perfect, but even with that, I got long arms, so it's a blanket, that's what I'd say.
All right, thanks, Miles.
No problem. Thank y'all.